So welcome back to DC Silver Age Storytime, and today's story comes from Superman's Girlfriend Lois Lane, number 24, published in April 1961, with story by Robert Bernstein and art by Kurt Schaffenberger. To Lois Lane, the perfect man is Superman. In her opinion, no other human being in the world can approach the Man of Steel in handsomeness, intelligence, and glamour. But for all the attraction of his superpowers, Superman has one crushing drawback. He cannot yet give Lois what every girl dreams about: a marriage, a home, and children. Is it any wonder, then, that disappointed Lois would begin to look elsewhere for the perfect husband? There goes Superman, making one of his flashy rescues again. But it's funny, now that I've met Roger, I'm no longer so excited about Superman. Roger may not be superhuman, but unlike Superman, he'll make the perfect husband. So Lois Lane is having dinner over at Lucy's house. And Lucy says, my favorite program, People Are Wacky, goes on at 8:30. So the two of them are watching it. Good evening, folks. This is Burt Lankwater, clearly a reference to Art Linkletter, and your People Are Wacky TV show. Once again, we're going to let our famous UNIVAC computer select an ideal couple right before your eyes. So he explains how it all works. Both a man or a woman can submit themselves to the UNIVAC with all their information, and then there are, I guess, 1,000 or so applicants that the UNIVAC will choose through. Now we'll see whom the UNIVAC has picked out of all these possibilities to become the perfect husband for Miss Mason. Here it is. Will number 871 please step into the booth next to Miss Mason? So he comes out. Okay, Miss Mason, will you close your eyes and imagine the sort of man you're considering marrying? Yes, Mr. Lankwater. Then meet George Brown, the man selected by UNIVAC as the ideal husband for you. Are you disappointed? Gosh, no, me neither. So they appear to be very happy. Well, folks, 100 out of 105 cases, the couples introduced to each other by our UNIVAC have fallen in love and married. Let's wish Jane and George similar luck. I'll say it's all luck. Some people have all the luck. So she's bemoaning the fact that the man she cares about, she apparently can never have. Maybe Lois can't get anywhere with Superman because he isn't the ideal husband for her. I wonder. Maybe if I got poor Lois on People Are Wacky, she'd meet somebody really suited to her, who'd be eager to marry her. So they go to the show. And Burt Lankwater says, will Lois Lane come forward and let UNIVAC select an ideal husband for her? Go on, Lois. Go up there. Bart Lankwater is calling you. She's hesitant, but Lucy says, I sent an application for you. Think of the Planet article you'll be able to write as you date your ideal mate. So that does convince her. Now Lois Lane, the man of your dreams, selected by UNIVAC from thousands of applicants, as best fitted to marry you, will step forward. And out comes Clark Kent. No, Lois, I've heard of Clark Kent. He's the famous reporter for the Daily Planet, but I'm Roger Warner, sportsman. According to UNIVAC, Lois, Mr. Warner has all the qualifications to make you an ideal husband. Here, Mr. Warner, this $1,000 will enable you to show Lois the time of her life as the guest of People Are Wacky. But he declines because he has money and offers to give the money to Lois Lane's favorite charity. He's wonderful company. He's amusing, charming, and terrific dancer. I can't remember when I've enjoyed myself so much, but I find it hard to believe I'm not out with Clark Kent. He looks so much like Clark. But later on, okay, pal, this is a stick-up. Give me your wallet, and you, lady, give me your purse. Sure, anything you say, only don't hurt me. He not only looks like Clark, he acts like Clark, timid and cowardly. But suddenly he grabs the thief and gives him a judo throw, knocking him unconscious. Lois calls the police, but when the police officer comes up, holy smoke, lady, you didn't need our help. You know who this is? My World War II bomber pilot, Captain Roger Warner. Why, he flew more than 100 missions and collected over a dozen medals for bravery. Stop embarrassing me, Sergeant. It was nothing. Nothing, he says. There's nothing that man's afraid of, miss. My proudest years were spent as his tail gunner. It was great to see you again, Roger. How modest Roger is. He reminds me of Superman. He hates being praised for his feats. So Roger invites them to his private box at the racetrack, along with Clark Kent. Lois, if Warner resembles me and you want to know why he hasn't joined us in the box, look at the leading jockey. Gracious, Clark, it's he. Why, Roger rides like a demon. What grace, what skill, what daring. He's going to win, and he does. Presently, as Warner gives the cup he won to Lois. Tell me, Warner, isn't it odd that you should look like my exact double? Not at all, Kent. In a world of over 2 billion people, scientists estimate that at least 30 people are lookalikes. Now, come, let me show you my stable. Okay, I don't think that's scientifically true. And second of all, he must be a hell of a jockey because he is way bigger than a normal jockey. So later on, they go out to dinner, Roger and Lois. May I have your order, Monsieur Warner? Oui, Pierre. Pâté foie gras, crème vichyssoise, le poule, Leon et café panouche. Golly, Roger sure knows how to order continental food. Dining out with him is an adventure. And so she goes and watches him play polo, and then at the beach. We finally induced Roger to do some of his famous acrobatic stunts. Isn't he terrific, Lois? Terrific. He's fantastic, doing a series of somersaults and cartwheels at incredible speed. Roger, how come you're not wearing your glasses? Actually, I don't need them, Lois, except for reading. Help, help. He hears a woman drowning and rushes off to rescue her. Hooray for Roger. He saved the girl. He's a hero. That's true. Roger is a hero, not a superhero who's super neglectful to me like Superman, but a human hero who's eager to spend time with me. Here's a little token of my love for you, Lois. Little token? Why, Roger, it's as big as the diamonds Superman makes by squeezing lumps of coal in his fist. More and more I realize this life is for me. There's nothing in the world that Roger won't give me. So I wasn't so wacky to get you on People Are Wacky. No, Lucy, I'm grateful to you. Roger's a wonderful guy. He's mad about me. He sure made me forget Superman. So they take off in a plane. Lois, dear, I was thinking, how would you like to meet my family? If you say yes, I plan to land this plane right alongside the family yacht. He wants me to meet his folks. Gosh, he is thinking marriage. The answer is yes. But Superman just happens to be flying around. He doesn't even know they're in there, but he does spot them. But what he notices, one of the pontoons on the seaplane is broken, and the plane will crack up if they land with the broken pontoon. So he uses his body to help them safely land. Good heavens, Mr. Warner, how did you ever land that plane safely? The pontoon's useless. You could have been killed. You forget Mr. Warner was a war ace. Besides, Roger can do anything short of superhuman. Lois sure has gone overboard for Warner. And so he looks inside or I guess on the boat. Welcome, Lois. We've heard so much about you from Roger. As his mother, I can only say he didn't flatter you enough. I'd be delighted to have you for a daughter-in-law. The feeling is mutual, Mrs. Warner. I'm glad you like my parents, Lois. We're very wealthy. But in all honesty, our ancestors weren't high society. My great-great-grandfather was a horse thief. That's what I admire most about you, Roger. You're always so honest. That's why I've become convinced you are the perfect husband for me, and you're tops all around. Lois, darling, I'm so happy. They're about to kiss. Well, I guess that wraps it up. It's time I return to my patrol. Whoosh! I'll pass at super speed so they'll never know I was in the vicinity. They'll only think a sudden breeze sprang up. Gah! Roger, your hair! A sudden gust of wind blew off your wig. Oh my gosh, it pulled off my toupee, despite its glue. You're bald, completely bald. Excuse me, Lois, I must go below. She's discovered my one weakness. She'll never look at me with the same loving eyes again. I must get away fast. Roger's gone, but he left this farewell note. Dearest Lois, forgive me for deceiving you. I should have told you I was bald, but I was too vain, too honest, so forgive me, too dishonest, so forgive me. I'm not worthy of you. I'm leaving now on a 3-year trip around the world. Goodbye, Roger. Or goodbye forever, Roger. But his baldness wouldn't have mattered, or would it? A few days later, as Lois, escorted by Clark Kent, reports back to Bart Lankwater. Too bad things didn't work out, Miss Lane. Would you like to try again for the perfect husband? No, Mr. Lankwater. I think I'll stick to my original choice, though he's a little harder to get at. At least I'm sure that Superman won't lose his hair. He might. I don't know why you think he can't. But yet again, Lois is proven to be quite shallow. I did enjoy this story. It is a fun story.